Hello guys, I'm Caio and today we are here to talk about a little bit more about the Autel devices. We are here in collaboration with the guys from Locksmith Keyless. We can see here our colleague Davi. Hey Davi, what's up?
Hey, how are you, Kyle? Nice being here with you.
Nice. So we are here guys to talk about the IM608, okay? This will be a series of videos that we will be making in like 3 months. We will be talking about the IM608 and all the accessories that we can have with the device. What we can do, what we cannot do, what is the device, what the device can do, and what the device cannot do. Okay. And today the live streaming will be focused on the device, what we can do with the device, and what we cannot do. Okay. So let's start. Davi, do you want to say something, or can I start this to talk
Yeah,
about?
I just wanted to point out that these kind of sessions or videos are very helpful because a lot of customers and owners of the scanner or locksmith or mechanics or people in general that want to or are thinking about buying the scanners, they don't know like the full potential and the full capabilities of the scanner. They just have a simple idea in their head. The scanner can program keys, and that's it. And they don't know exactly the full potential that they can do with the scanner to improve their business. And
Yeah, and in reality, the device can do a lot more than key programming. We can do a lot of stuff with this device. Very good. Thanks, Davi. So let's get started. Let me just share the screen with the 608. Here we can see that's the device, the main tablet. All right. It came with two USB ports, one HDMI, one mini USB. You can plug your phones here, and of course the charging port. All right, it came with a camera. It helps a lot, and is important to talk about. This camera helps a lot the technical support. For example, when you have any problems with your car, you are doing a key programming, you are doing a diagnostic on the car, you call your technical support, and we can connect by TeamViewer to your device, and we open the camera and we can see what is going on the dashboard or with the key, with something on your car. So it's very important, this camera on the device. All right, so let me just share the screen with you guys, and let's just talk about a little bit more about this great device. Just give me a second. Oh, I'm already connected. All right, just a second. And guys, if you have any questions, please, you can put on the comments below in YouTube and Facebook. Okay, let me just share my screen. And second.
Dice Ari que no se oye muy bien.
This one. Okay. ¿Se escucha bien? No. You guys can hear me good? All good? Yeah, I think so. Okay, guys. So here we have the main screen of the IM608. As you can see on your right side, we have the immobilizer menu, and you can see it's a bigger menu because the device is not made, but the main function on the device is for the locksmith guide, the key programming stuff. All right. But we are here to talk about the IM608 and show to you that the device is not only focused on the locksmith guys, all right, on key programming. It's focused on the workshop guy when you need to do a diagnostic on the car. This device will help you a lot on this matter. Okay, so let's talk about the main functions we can see here on the screen. So as I say, on our left we have the IMMO software, and we have the diagnostic software. If we go on diagnostic software, we can see all the brands Autel is capable to enter. All right, I think Autel is one of the biggest right now in range in the cars we can do the diagnostic. All right, we have here all the brands. We have here we can enter by USA, we can enter by European brands, Asia, and China. if we want to search, for example, you don't want to spend a lot of time searching here. Where is the brand that you want to work? You can just press here and write BMW, for example, right? And it will show here BMW. All right. That's one function, basic function. Once we have the car selected, we can enter on the car and we will be able to see the live data from the car, for example, and the sensors of the car. We can see if the car is started, is not started. We can do a lot of coding. Autel with the IM608 and another products, but focus on the IM line. We can do the coding, online coding and programming. All right. What is the big difference between coding and programming? When we buy a new piece, for example, if we have a new airbag model, all right, we need to do the programming and then the coding, all right? And Autel have an online server for BMW and Mercedes, okay? It's not a pass-through device. Autel have their own server from BMW and Mercedes. So we have a new piece, we just plug on the car, and we can do the programming and the coding to get the perfect programming of the car. That's one of the biggest solutions that we have in Autel, the main server from Autel, from BMW and Mercedes. I think David have a lot of customers that already talked to him about this function, right, David?
Yes, correct. And also to point out, just so people know, to do that, you will need then a strong Wi-Fi connection, right? Like
Very
you will
important.
need to have your van if you're doing it on the street, or well, your workshop probably already have Wi-Fi. But if you're doing it on the customer location or in another place, then you will need a Wi-Fi setup to handle to, I don't know, maybe 1 hour or the whole time that the programming requires.
Very, very important, David. And one thing, I think a lot of people thinks that the procedure, the coding and programming is online. You need to have a very strong internet. That's 100% correct. And when we go to do the programming, the device goes online, download the file, and do offline. But of course, when you do the programming or the coding with the IM608, you need to have the internet, a very good internet connection. But it's very important to know the procedure itself, it's offline, all right? It's very, very important to know because you don't need to have internet when it goes to program. You need to have internet, a very good internet, when downloading the file to program the car. All right, the car, no, the ECU, the engine control unit, or the airbag unit, or the ABS, or any model that you want to program. All right. So let's go. More functions that we have in our IM608. With talking about the workshop guys, the guys who do the diagnostic on the cars, Autel have you can see my screen. Yep, I think it's frozen. It's frozen my screen. Okay. Right now it's back. More functions that we have. Autel have this function, this blue button, the service button. Here, it's a resume of all the functions that Autel can do on the car. All right. For example, we can do the oil reset, the EPB, the TPMS. This one is very important because a lot of cars are already being produced with this system. That is the tire pressure measure system. So when you put air on your tires, you have a sensor inside, and you have a light indicator on your dashboard. That if your PSI drops, you have a light indicator. So this sensor needs to be programmed to the car. And here we have this function, the TPMS function, to work with those valves. The device, but it's true, the devices don't work just with the IM608. You need more devices to be able to do the whole brand, the whole functions on TPMS systems. But with the IM608, you can do the relearning of the ID of the valves, for example. David, if you remember any function that I'm missing, please Just stop me and help me. Okay.
No, everything is fine. You're doing great. I'm seeing there. Yeah, to the TPMS. Also, you will have the sensors, and then the other devices from Autel that are also needed. But yeah, it's
Yes.
the you talk about the airbag as well. Oh, that's in another. It's more
For
complex.
example, a lot of guys, as you said, they think the device is made for just the locksmith guys, but that's not correct. For example, we have here the function, the brake bleed, for example, is totally workshop guys, function for the workshop guys. We have injector calibration, the airbag, as you said, suspension, throttle. You can do the language change in some cars. You need to change the language if the car is from any kind of import. You can change the language. You can do the coding of the headlamps. You change the headlamps and you need to code them. You can do this with the IM608. As you see right now, until now we just talk about the diagnostic functions. We don't even talk about the key programming stuff. All right, here you can see the services that Autel can do. Autel can do more than 20 services reset on the car. Okay. And one important thing, not less important, here you guys can see the JVCI. This is the device that communicates with your car and with the IM608. Okay, you can do the communication by USB cable or by Bluetooth. But this device, as you can see here, is J2534. What that means? This device can communicate your car with the original software from the brands. For example, if you have Audis from Volkswagen, you can use this VCI to communicate with the car and with the original software. That is pass-through. All right, it's very important to understand that, because the main server that we have here inside the IM608 to work with the BMW and Mercedes are not pass-through. All right, when we talk about pass-through, is only the VCI. This VCI will be connected by USB cable to your computer. Once you connect the VCI to your computer, you need to have the original software from BMW, from Toyota, from Volkswagen, Audi, any brand that you want to work with the original server, with the original software. You need a VCI, a device to communicate with the car. And Autel IM608 comes with this pass-through device. All right. I think that is important to explain, because a lot of people have this question: if the online function from the IM608 on BMW and Mercedes are pass-through. No, they are not pass-through. It's totally wrong. Who said that? Okay, it's totally different. This is pass-through to be connected to your device and to your computer, and your computer will be connected to the original software, and then you will have the pass-through. All right. I think that's very important. I think, right, Davi? I think a lot of customers, for me, for example, a lot of customers ask me, what is this? What is this J2534? What is a pass-through? And we are already working on a training in IATA that we will talk about the pass-through. What is really a pass-through? I think your customers ask that as well, right, Davi?
Yeah, correct. They actually have a lot of questions. Also, they want to transition from older scanners and traditional scanners to this kind of breaking through brand Autel. So they want to know like the difference, they want comparisons, and they have a lot of questions about what actually can do and what's like the new features, or what makes the scanner so special.
That's correct. And I think one of the biggest functions that we can talk is we can do key programming that we even talk about. It can do diagnostic from live data. It can do coding. It can do basic adjustments. For example, you change your gearbox from a BMW E90, okay, from some brand. Then you need to do the calibration of that gearbox. You can do the basic adjustment with the IM608. You can do the coding online when you buy some second-hand gearbox and you want to put on your BMW and you need to do the coding. You can do that with your IM608 Pro. You need to change some ECU from the car. Depends on the brand and on the year and the model of the ECU you want to change, you can do with the IM608. You will see this first live is just to talk about the main functions of the device. You will see the next week we will be talking about the XP400 Pro that you will see that can do a lot of procedures on bench. You can do reading from ECUs. You can do reading from microprocessors, from EEPROMs, from a lot of pieces from the car. So this device, I think, is one of the most complete devices from Autel brand. Right, David? There's a lot of devices. Autel have so much devices right now on his catalog. They have a diagnostic device. They have TPMS devices. But in our vision, Autel have one of the greatest devices here. That is the IM608 Pro, because they have a lot of great functions from the best tools. For example, the 909 from the MaxiIM 909 from Autel. You have a lot of functions from that big device here in the IM608. So it's a perfect device from the locksmith guy and the workshop guys.
Yeah, correct. And they also have devices to check the battery and the topography and the electricity circuits. And the 608 is a very flexible tool. It's very complete. It's very integrated. So you can use it in a whole range of variety of functions. It's a very special tool to locksmith that wants to increase their business opportunities. They want to upsell, they want to perform or to do a key for a customer, but they also have the opportunity to provide a different service for the customer. If they check the car, they see the customer only wants to duplicate a key and that's it.
A ticket for the workshop, right?
Correct. So maybe they realize when they're making a scanning of the car that the car needs to do this or other service, and in that place, the locksmith or the owner of the scanner can upsell and provide a different service as well, a second, a third service, not only the basic function of programming the key and that's it.
Perfect.
It can expand the capabilities.
Perfect. And that's the most important, I think. Don't lose the customer, right? If you have the customer on your workshop and they want a key programming, for example, you can do with your IM608, and it will be one extra ticket for you. And that's perfect, David. That's the main part of the job, right? Don't lose the customer. So,
Right, correct.
Talking about the more functions, I think those functions that I talk about right now was the main functions from diagnostic devices, from the diagnostic part of the device. And now let's talk about a little bit about the immobilizer functions on the IM608 Pro. And let's open the function. As you can see, the interface is pretty the same until now. All right, you can do it's very important. Auto devices are intelligent. What I mean with being intelligent? When you connect to the car, Autel can read automatically the VIN number. With the VIN number, Autel will give us what is the car we are working on. And when we know what the car we are working on, when we enter on the immobilizer function, it will tell us which system we need to work. What I want why I'm explaining this, because a lot of devices, when we talk about key programming, you need to understand where you are going to work. With IM608 Pro, it will guide you through every step of the key programming. I mean, when you connect to the car, you want to do a key for a Volkswagen. David, help me. One Volkswagen there in...
No, in this case, in most scanners, you have to tell the scanner what are you doing and what do you want to do, or what are you working on. In this
Yes,
case, the Autel is telling you where
what
are
to
you,
do.
where's the chassis, the type of engine, the type of model that you have. It guides you. In the other scanners, the scanner has everything, yeah, but you are the one who have to know exactly the type of car, the engine, the system that it has, everything, the type of configuration that it has. Some cars, maybe they are from the same year, but in one same year, a car has two different manufacturers, lines, and the customer only knows that his car is a Ford F-150. That's it. He doesn't know anything else. Sometimes
Correct.
they know that they have a Nissan Altima 2014, and that's it. And then they don't have
They
anything,
need
any
to know.
information.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you are traveling blind. You're navigating blind. So the scanner helps you in that way, just to get a sense of what do you have in front of you. Because most of the time you go to a car or you're going to do a job and you don't know exactly what you are told to. The customer told you a thing, then you arrive there and you encounter a different thing, and the scanner just helps you like go through that process like better. And the other scanners, you have to know everything to use the scanner. In this case, it helps you a lot with that. To be honest, the smart function is very, very, very powerful.
Perfect. I think that one of the best the functions of the IM608 that guide you on every step of the process for key programming. So you will be able to do a key programming. Just a second, guys. I'm back. So you will be able to do a key programming, not only the key, but the remote as well. When we talk about the key, we are talking about just the transponder, the chip that the every key have inside. So you can do the key programming and the remote programming. All right. The device will guide you on every step of the procedure. You will be able to do a key programming on a Mercedes Benz, on a BMW, on a GM, Ford, Honda, Toyota, Volvo, and Land Rover, Nissan, a lot of brands. I mean, the most known brands of the market, you will be able to do the key programming. All right. The Mercedes cars, you will be able to do the key programming until 2015. On BMWs until 2019, 2020, more or less. And the other brands, I mean, until 2020, 2021. There's some limitations, of course, but Autel is working very hard on the development of the device. And I think it's another great point of the Autel devices that we have the log system. Uh, do you know the log system, Davi?
But I'm not very familiarized with that, to be honest. But,
Perfect. The log system is when you do something on your device. For example, you do for a key programming on Ford F350, for example. You go for the programming, and at the end, you have an error. For example, error on on the programming of the key, and this error is written, is logged on a file, and this file we can send to Autel directly to the engineers. So that function, so in that way they can work with the file. We as a distributor, we can talk to them directly and see what is going on with the car, why we have this error. We are ready to change the transponder, we are ready to repair what the car was missing, for example, and we don't know why we have this error. So we have this log system, we have this log file that we can send to Autel, and Autel can analyze with the engineers, and they can tell us what is the problem with the car. I think is the only device that have the system, and it's very, 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 very good because we have helped Autel to solve a lot of problems that customers have just with the log system, with the log file. That is, for me, it's a great function. It's a great service that Autel can do for us.
well, that's a very helpful tool to add to the scanner, because at the end of the day, when you are programming a car and something fails and something goes wrong, you don't know. I mean, you don't know exactly where the error was. Maybe it was you that you did something wrong in the process. Maybe it was the key that wasn't okay. Maybe it was the car. Maybe it's the scanner. You don't know. You only know that it doesn't work. It didn't work, and that's it. That's the final result. But you need to understand what happened. So next time you have a successful job. So maybe you know that there is a step that you are missing, or maybe you know that the scanner you need an extra accessory to complete the work. Maybe you know that the car have something wrong with the module, or the key that you need a different key. So that's a very helpful tool in that matter.
That's it. That's the IM608, guys. And that's what we are doing here, explaining this great device. So when we talk about key programming, we cannot focus on just the key programming itself, all right? Of course, we can do the key programming, we can do the remote programming, but inside of the software of the IM608 on the immobilizer software, we can do the ECU change, for example, on a BMW 2021 or 2020, okay? We can do the programming of a new FEM model, for example. We can do a change of the ECU, the engine control unit, and all of these functions are inside of the immobilizer functions. And let me show you guys the menu of the device. Let me just go back here. Just a moment. So here, inside of the BMW software, we will be able to work from the year 98 until 2020. As you guys can see here in system selection, can we see on the screen? Yeah, we can see on the screen. We can work on the immobilizer system, we can work on the engine system, and we can work on the transmission system. Let's focus on the immobilizer system right now. As you can see, we can work on the four types of the immobilizer that we have inside of the BMW's cars. We have the EWS, we have the CAS system, and we have the last one, the FEM system. So we will be able to do EWS, CAS from OBD, and FEM, OBD, and bench. We need to take out some pieces from the car to do the key programming. All right? On engine, as I was talking to you guys, we will be able to do the reprogramming of the unit, and we will be able to clone the unit. We'll be able to get the information from the original ECU and put inside of the new ECU. And it will be able, we will be able to do this or by boot mode or by bench mode. What is the difference by boot and by bench? Let's go enter on boot mode. And that's very important to show to you guys that Autel will always help us with the most information possible that we need. For example, if we have ECU, the MED 1728, for example, Autel will give a picture that what we need to do to be able to communicate with this device. Look at this, guys. So Autel will give us the diagram on what, on how to do, and when and where to put the correct cables to be able to communicate with this engine control unit. So we have all the tools that we need to be able to work in a BMW cars, in a GM cars, Honda, Toyota, and all on Ford cars and all the main brands of the market right now. So David, I think it's for a first live streaming, I think it's a very good start for us. What do you think? Did I miss something?
No, I mean obviously we both are going to miss something. It's a very powerful machine, and just to cover in 30 minutes or in 1 hour. That's why we need to do more of these sessions, like at least every week or every 2 weeks, because
Every week, yep.
Yeah, because this is a very powerful machine, and we have to do a deep dive in every function. Right now, this was just a broad topic, just to have a general idea of the scanner. But for some for some customers, for some people, they will only need one side. Some other people will only need the other side. So that's why we have to explain everything so that everything
But it's
gets
very,
covered.
I'm sorry, David. It's very important what you said, because the customers, maybe sometimes, let me just put our screen back. It's very important, David, because some customers don't have all the knowledge that you need to be able to do a key programming. For example, why I'm saying this? Because sometimes you have a problem on the car. Sometimes you have a code on the car that is related with the comfort model, right? And you go for a key programming, and you have a problem on the programming, and this problem is related with the comfort model. And if you have a device that cannot read the DTCs, cannot read the live data, for example, you won't be able to do the correct programming, or you won't be able to know if the car have a problem and not the device. That's very important to understand, that IM608 have both functions from the locksmith guys for the key programming and the diagnostic functions. That's very, very important. I think it's an old idea that the locksmith don't need to have the diagnostics part, and it's an old mentality that the mechanical guy, the workshop, don't need the key programming. They both needed those functions.
Yeah, correct. That was maybe that was valid 20 years ago, but cars right now are very complex. Our computers, they're very smart, and everything is very integrated. So you need everything to know exactly what is going on with the car. It's the same as, imagine you're going to the hospital because you have a headache. So the doctor needs to run a diagnosis on you. Maybe at the end you only need one pill and that's it. But maybe the headache is a symptom of something greater. Maybe you have a virus in you. Maybe you have some illness, but you don't know. That's why you need a
Exactly what
hospital.
you have. Yep.
That's why you need a full medical team. That's why you have specialists. That's why this tool needs to have all these functions, and that's why it's so complete, because you need everything to run the car. And a car is like a living system. It has too many system integrated. Only the module that controls the windows, the electrical windows. In some cars, something went wrong with that module. Something
The car won't start.
it's going to provide a service, an engine check function, or it's going to mess up with the other module. And then
Yep.
if you don't have the proper tool, you will never find out what's going on, and you will miss the opportunity to make money on that job and to make money on future jobs like that. So
That's perfect. I think, guys, that was everything for today. And I think we can ask some questions from the chat we have here. And let me see. Hey, friend. Nice to meet you again. How are you? Saludos desde Colombia. ¿Qué tal, chicos? Y aquí también tenemos, and we have Adrian Perez asking, can you tell me what is the difference between bench and boot? Of course, the difference between bench and boot mode is when you need to solder, to do a soldering, to put a cable in a specific place of the PCB from the engine control unit or from whatever the module is. That's boot mode, when you need to solder a cable in a specific spot that Autel will guide you. The bench mode is when you need to do the pin out, when you need to put a 12 volts GND, the reset, the reading. You need to put the cables on the connector. I mean, I don't have any device, right? Any engine control unit, but the bench mode is for pin out. The boot mode, you need to solder a cable in a specific place. Indeed, the IM608 is a great tool. Thanks, Salman. That's correct. Wagner is saying this machine is the most complete on the market, and I'm sure of that. We are sure of that. So, guys, any question that we can ask? Can you do a comparison between the IM608 and AutoFix M1? Yes, we will be doing a series of videos from right on, and we will talk about the difference between the devices. Don't worry, this was the first live streaming. we will be talking about a lot of the devices, the differences, the prices, the price range as well, right, David?
Yeah, correct. And you can, well, if you're interested in knowing more about the machine, and if you need more, like if you're in a hurry and you need more topics that we didn't cover in this video, you can give Kyle a call. Yeah, you can give us a call at Locksmith Keyless if you are in the United States. So we can provide a full range of possibilities to get the machine, to get more information, technical information, the user manual, some more stuff, and also great offers to get the machine as well. So yeah, we're fully prepared to assist you in your business and to help you make money. I mean, to help the locksmith and the mechanics and everyone to wants to get into this industry to make money. That's the base. If the bottom of the chain makes money, everyone improve. We need each other. So just give us a call. You have all our information, and we will help you out as soon as
Guys,
we.
if you need any device, those guys from Locksmith Keyless, they can support you on keys, remotes, shells, on auto device. They are distributors on auto devices as well. They can. What more can you do, David? What more can you sell?
Well, we
What
sell
you,
mostly anything. Key cutting machines. We sell, as you said, blades, shells, the remotes, all type of remotes, transponders, flip keys, aftermarket, OEM, refurbish. We sell new. Um, even residential keys, padlocks, everything, residential locks as well, and tools to open cars, because a lot of the locksmith, when they have a lost key situation, the customer lost the key, they need tools to enter the car. So we also sell that tools as well, to access the car and open the car in a non-destructive way, because there are different ways to go inside the car, but the tools that we sell are non-destructive. So you can open the car without the customer having to pay then a repair of the car, of the door, of the glass, or anything like that. We also sell leashes as well, one of the most popular tools, and a lot of
perfect.
tools to decode keys. But yeah, also the key cutting machines as well, the whole picture, the whole for all your needs, mechanical key cutting machines, automatic key cutting machines, duplicators, anything.
Perfect. So those was they are Locksmith Keyless. They have a lot of stuff to you guys as a locksmith, as a workshop as well, with the auto devices and another brands. And that's it, guys. We are IATA as well. I'm Kyle again, and we are here. We will be doing a lives every Thursday at the same time. We will be doing this live streaming, talk about the auto devices and more devices on the market, right, David? And I
Yeah,
think we will be able to help you guys to understand what is this device, what is Autel, and what is the main difference between all of this. Okay.
all right.
Thank you,
So every
guys. Thank
every
you, David.
Tuesday,
Thank you, Jose. I'm sorry.
every Tuesday, I think, right?
Every Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So thank you, Locksmith Giles. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, David. And I see you guys next week.
All right, man.
Bye
It's
bye.
great.